Hello Internet, I am the Classic Nerd and today I will be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. When people talk about classic games, they usually include Sonic the Hedgehog, and no doubt it is a classic game, but is it any good? The answer is no. Let's talk about it. Sonic the Hedgehog was made to combat Mario and help launch the Bit Wars. Sega launched the first 16-bit home console called the Sega Genesis and tried to take over the home video game market, but needed a mascot. Something cool, something edgy, something with an attitude. So we got Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest thing in life, also known as the Blue Blur. Sonic was marketed as being the fastest thing in life to help sell the Genesis' tagline of blast processing. What's blast processing? Hell if I know, but look at Sonic running super fast in the commercials.
If you've got a Genesis, or a Game Gear, or a Sega CD, there are new Sonic games coming. As you'll see on Sonic Mania Day, they're really fast.
The story of Sonic the Hedgehog is pretty straightforward and simple. In whatever world Sonic lives in, there are 7 Chaos Emeralds even though only 1 is green, and if someone is able to attain all 7 Chaos Emeralds, they would have untold powers and would easily be able to rule the planet. Enter Dr. Ivo Robotnik, also known as Eggman, who wants to be the ruler of the planet. Eggman is a genius and has captured random woodland critters, turning them into evil robot slaves to help him find the Chaos Emeralds and to defeat the Blue Blur. Meanwhile, Sonic wants adventure, so he vows to save the world. This game was the introduction to 16-bit graphics for me, and if there is one good thing I can say about the game, it would be that the visuals are great. The animations look clean for the time, and the shading on Sonic's oversized head is nice, and everything is bright and colorful. Sonic the Hedgehog has some of the most slippery platforms I've ever seen in a platform game. Who in their right mind is waxing the Green Hill Zone? It's grass for crying out loud, get Sonic some fucking cleats or something! There's a power sneaker power-up that only makes things worse for the player. When you have the sneakers on, Sonic runs super fast, but it makes it harder to slow down and plan jumps. In a Sonic game, you shouldn't even have to fucking slow down or plan jumps to begin with. But with the power sneakers, it makes it so much worse. It'd be like if in Super Mario Bros. You get the fire flower and every time you use the flower, it burns Mario and kills him. Don't give the player a power-up that's only going to make them die easily. The player goes up against Eggman at the end of each of the third act of each zone, and at least he's easy to beat. 8 hits and then move on to the next level and do the same thing. Everything feels like an errand in this game. The special stages are bullshit because it looks and feels like the developers were trying to make them into an odd pinball game. If you want to completely beat the game, then you will need to get the 7 Chaos Emeralds, but the developers wanted to make it as frustrating as possible. If you get the Chaos Emeralds, it becomes supersonic and the game becomes super easy. But in all honesty, I never cared enough to get them. I wanted to play the game, not run errands for Sonic. Power-ups are riddled throughout the levels, and there's a reason to explore the entire level before progressing to the next level, but I don't think it adds any real value to replay the game since you don't get to keep the power-up. Marble Zone always reminded me of Altered Beast. It isn't an exact match, but I always wondered if the games are set in the same universe. It wouldn't be too much of a stretch to imagine that Altered Beast and Sonic the Hedgehog share the same universe either. Speaking of Marble Zone, there's a serious theme with this game that I've been noticing so far, and Marble Zone is the worst offender. Remember when I said Sonic was marketed as the fastest thing alive? It's all bullshit because the levels require the player to stop or slow down constantly. Running straight through a level isn't advised because there are pitfalls, spikes, evil robots, and springs everywhere with the sole purpose of killing Sonic. Marble Zone has areas with lava and the developers had the brilliant idea to place a spring right here. If you don't know to dodge it, then you get pushed right into the lava. It's a middle finger on the screen. The final stage is bullshit because it takes time to beat Eggman. There is a pattern you can follow, but the developers added the electric orbs up top to throw you off. It just prolongs the ending. It isn't even hard. The orbs are easy to dodge, the pistons are easy to dodge, it just increases the length of the game, which is unnecessary. The Blue Blur is a lie. There's so many things in this game that force the player to slow down and think about what to do next. Sonic the Hedgehog is not a fast game, and marketing it that way is bullshit. I know it's just a marketing ploy to sell the blast processing, but if this is blast, then I'd hate to see what normal processing is. Sonic the Hedgehog may have some difficult parts, but they're not difficult because they're hard, they're difficult because they suck. The developers wanted the player to die at the drop of a hat because that meant they had a hard and intense game. But in reality, Sonic the Hedgehog is boring and mediocre. The gameplay is shit, the levels are shit, the platforms are shit, the springs can go to hell, Eggman is easy but annoying, and to top everything off, I don't like the game. I'm fed up with modern video games, so I thought playing some retro video games would be fun. But retro video games aren't always fun. Sonic the Hedgehog has had a lot of down lately, but how many ups did he actually have? Sonic the Hedgehog 1 sucked, but how about 2, 3, and what about Sonic and Knuckles? There's gotta be some good games, some good retro games that I can play. Like how about this? Mickey Mania for the Super Nintendo. This has gotta be fun, right? It's Mickey. Let's play this. Next time on The Classic Nerd. Thank you for watching my Sonic the Hedgehog review. If you enjoyed this review, I do have 5 other reviews that you can watch by clicking the image in the middle of the screen. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me and it keeps you up to date with what The Classic Nerd is doing. Don't forget, new video every Wednesday. This has been The Classic Nerd. Peace out.